Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GWE100, the Tier 10 German SPG. This one's located on the northwest spawn of Mines, and it's under the command of Photobomber of FUN2. Game on! Well, I owe a big thank you to Photobomber because, of course, he actually was one of the people who sent me a coffee donation. It's something we have, and it's in the text beneath the video. I have what's called coffee, which actually means that if you want to, you can buy me a cup, and that speeds along the production of the videos. And yes, Photobomber kindly sent me a donation for a couple of cups of coffee to keep me going. Okay, he's got his 21cm loaded and he's ready to rock and roll. First target, E75. Rounds up. Lands just in front of the guy. Yes, I thank all of those people who do send me donations. Some of you were very generous at Christmas last and sent me a very nice Christmas present. I very much appreciated that, and well, one of those people is now sporting a very nice set of caps and clothes, and he was very happy with them. And of course, the funds that he actually provided did actually go to buying new equipment, which I then use for the recording of the videos. Now, these 21cm shells are capable of doing 900 alpha, and they'll penetrate 53mm of armor with 11.4 meters on the burst radius, and they've normally got a stun duration of between 12.5 and 31 seconds. From this position, he can hit the enemy tanks that are coming up the hill, but he can't hit them easily if they actually pull back. And you can see from this angle, he's only just getting over the rock in the center. But he is getting the shells over. Of course, if you go to Nigel's spot, which of course is over there, just where I'm putting the rescue at the moment, from that position you can actually shoot into the sides of the enemy tanks as they're coming up the hill, and that makes it very, very uncomfortable for them. He's looking at a T-30 there at the back of the map, who's guarding the entrance to the going back, okay, guarding the entrance to the rear end of the cap area, or the rear end of the enemy base area. We briefly saw a G-Saw making his way across the water. And now we can see an FB4005, and he's ultimately just in front of the cap area. And in fact, we just saw the tracer coming from the enemy Arty. You can see the trees are knocked down, which proves that there is definitely somebody in there. Oh, he killed him! Photobomber's just taken out the patch out 155-58 with that shot. A one-shot kill. So it must have penetrated the enemy Arty and took him out. But there's still another enemy Arty in the game. The M53, M55. You can see that G-Saw is moving about quite rapidly. The T-54E1 is a one-shot. Rounds out. Well, I'm pretty certain he would have killed that guy anyway, even if our teammate in the Kampfpanzer EK1 had not actually got the kill, then we would have got the kill for sure. So still only one kill for Photobomber, the enemy Arty. Now, we're lucky because this is a 2-video replay, both featuring the same Arty on different maps. Now, as far as we know, the G-Saw's moved forward, and he's now sitting just on the corner of the north line. There we go. And we can see we can definitely put a shell into the corner where the rock comes out low. There you go. Exactly where he was looking. That point, it's 1.5 seconds for the shell to reach that spot. And now he's seen the STB-1. He may have been looking for a different target, and he's now found the STB. Fires the round in, and does get some splash, but he only got 255. But that's enough to get the communications skill working, because of course he got some stun assists off that one as well. Quite a large amount of stun assists. 1,061 hit points of damage from stun assist alone. So one of our big tanks managed to get a really hefty hit on the enemy. So we're looking for the M53, M55. He's somewhere in there. Either that or he's moved over to the other side. And we're looking over here, because that's another good spot to fire from if you're an Arty. A not so good spot to fire from is, of course, on the south of the South Island, because, of course, you might get spotted. Plus, of course, there's nearly always some enemy tanks that will sit on the middle island and try to get further south. So if you get spotted, you are definitely going to be taken out of the game. You can't get a good shot on the E75. It might be a good idea for him to move position now, and he could go over to the east side of the map and shoot over the top of the hill. Instead, he fires at the enemy T110E3. Or is it one of the others he fired at? Well, there's a Leopard prototype there now. There's the T30. He's over on the corner. The E3 is the next one along, and then we've got the Leopard prototype over the gap, near the cap area. There are 4 tanks behind. The T30's pulled away, which makes him an easy shot. And he did get stun on him. Our guys are lining up to try and take shots. I think there's several guys up on top of the hill looking down, trying to find the enemy. And that enemy G-Saw is about to get right royally rogered. The G-Saw's pulled back because he knows what's coming. Got 2 tanks against him, T55A and a Leopard 1, and that's not going to help him. We're firing at the E3, and it was a direct hit for 246. The T30 just went. The T55A was the one who killed him, but the G-Saw is now exacting a bit of revenge. Here it comes. And the G-Saw goes down. Okay, there's not many enemy left. Only 4 tanks. STB-1, Heshbarn, E3, and a Leopard prototype. Well, we're trying to get the E3 at the moment, but he is hiding very successfully. There he is. He did get stunned, but you see he's still got a lot of hit points. And now he's got some less. Oh, and there he goes down, and we got the stun assist off that one, and that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Photobomber of FUN2 in the GWE100. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7, and he got a win rate of 1,643, which is very good. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage in the game because that went to the Kampfpanzer EK1, who managed to get 3,328 hit points. Then came the T55A, who got a Spartan medal, and he got 2,806. And sorry, the EK1 got a Confederate. And in third place, we can see that it's the Object 705 with 2,755. And Photobomber only got 1,755 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, though, we can see the top scorers were actually the Kampfpanzer EK1, the T55A, the Leopard 1, all with 3 kills apiece. And on the enemy team, their Heshbarn, the FV4005, also got 3 kills. Photobomber only got 1 kill, but that actually puts him in joint second place. And when it came to base XP, we can see two players managed to get over 1,000 base, the 705 and the Kampfpanzer EK1. And then we've got the T55A in third place with 944, followed by Photobomber by only a small amount, 5 hit experience points in it. He got 939, so he did do well because he did earn in the high scores on that game. He fired only 10 rounds in the entire game, but he got 3 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetrating shot, 8 splash. Damage of 1,755 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Now, I think I would guess that the enemy tank that he actually took out with a penetrating shot was the enemy Arty, and I can just confirm that right now by going down here, and yes, it was 490 hit points. One shot went straight through him. Going back to detail, we can see that he damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 1, 417 hit points of damage assist, and 2,773 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. On a premium count, he actually made 19,329 credits profit. He got 5 bonds for getting a tier 10 game and 3,521 experience points out of that one as well. So he said it was an unexpected ace, but he was doing well. He was racking up the damage assists during that game. And I think this is where he actually earned it. 2,773 odd stun assist. Some of the shots, especially that last one, where he actually stunned the E3, and then the E3 died moments later, and that's where he got the ace tanker. So well done on that battle. Let's have a look at the second game. The second game is on the west spawn of Airfield.
Let's go.
Okay, here we go again. Now, as you know, this map has been changed quite a bit over the years. Used to be fairly easy to play if you went down to the south and you could shoot up into the northern areas. Now, it encourages you to actually shoot from the northern areas at the enemy tanks that go down the corridors. It's become much more of a corridor map for the players. Okay, it's loaded, ready to go. We didn't mention in the previous game that the actual reload time normally is 37.39 seconds, and Photobomber's got it down to 30.64. It's about right. You can shoot right down that corridor, the main corridor, at the enemy tanks at the other end. And once turned up, it's a Gonzalo. Rounds out. Direct hit right on the side. 432 from that one. Now, it hasn't moved very far away, but just a little bit to one side. If the enemy was working on where they saw the actual tracer come from, they might actually be shooting just off to one side of that particular position. Going for the 705A. Rounds out. Lands short. That will probably only do minor splash damage. The 705 does have a lot of armor. Now he's having a quick look up here because there's nearly always a tank destroyer sitting up on top of this hill, covering the airfield as well as the tank corridor. Guessing. Lands short, so it might have done some splash damage. And he's changing position again. There are definitely some enemy tanks, though, in the corridor. That 705 we saw earlier, and of course the Gonzalo. This should work. Rounds out. Well, it actually went over the top of the 705 and landed behind him. No hit points recorded there, but we can see a Shrek right at the back, and he's hovering over the edge at the back because obviously he did get scared by something in the past. Now, one of our teammates in the Grom has actually asked for help, and that's one of the guys on the Temple Mount, as I call it, the mount right in the center at the back. That's better. That was a direct hit on the 705A. That's what the Grom was asking for help on. The T55A. They're troublesome little tanks, that, because they've got the very strong turret of a T55, T54. Okay, the Gonzalo's not a great shot, but I think he can make it work. Rounds out. Well, he does, and he gets 353 from splash alone. Okay, we're changing position now. The enemy Arty in this game is also a GWE-100, but we haven't heard from them yet because I think they're concentrating on our tanks as well. One of their guys has been going after our LT-432, who's north of the airfield. There is a G-Saw much further back. And there he is, the G-Saw tank, the medium tank that we were given at Christmas. And, well, that's new. The SU-130PM. They're always good targets for Arty because they have so little armor. That went long. A Gonkowiecka. Tier 9 Polish tank destroyer. At this moment, we're still testing each other out. We're 2 tanks down on the enemy, but if you noticed on the minimap, everybody's sort of like up at the center line. And that was to see if the Gonkowiecka is still there. That T-54 is still there. Grams out. Direct hit! Oh, that was a good one. That hit the rear of the Type 68. Engine bay hits are always good for fires. Our Batchat 12-ton is very, very brave, to say the least. Because, of course, now the Type 68 is coming after him. Rounds up. And I don't think the Type 68 liked that. But we just lost our Batchat 12-ton, I'm afraid. The ILC M90 on the enemy team got him. And the Type 68 got taken out by our Grom, the guy who asked for help. Our LT-432 got wiped out as well. And now there's an M41D that's actually taken up his spot. That doesn't look very good for us. We still have a T100 LT. Well, we did. And now he's gone. And the T30 got him. So that's not so good. Especially when we can't see where the T30's fired from. Gonzalo felt that one. And that SU-130PM has moved up from his position on the height. So the enemy is now pushing, and they're pushing hard because if you look at the scores, yeah, we're not doing so well. We're 5 tanks down on the enemy. And we might have to relocate to stay in the battle. The Gonzalo is a one-shot. Rounds out. Yep, he got him. That's the first kill for Photobomber. The Scorpion looks like a good kill. So does that Heshbon. It is a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. And the Scorpion, well, I think he's being attracted by that Grom. But let's see if he can put a round into the Scorpion. Rounds out. Yes, he does. But he doesn't get a penetration. Only 392 from that one. But it was a good shot. It actually hit the rear of the Scorpion. And the enemy Konkoviska is now a one-shot. He's just gone down to 56 hit points. Now, he's only a short distance away, but I think we can drop a round in. And in fact, actually, somebody else gets there before us. The T100 LT just took him out.
Fall back.
Yep, the Borsig said, time to move.
Affirmative.
Usually when they say that, it's because they are relocating and they're taking away the protection from that area. If you don't move, then you are actually likely to meet the enemy next. And we now know where one of the enemy Arty is. He's not down by the water. He's actually just in the corner where the spawn normally happens. Now, generally, I stop off along the way if I've got a spare shell, fire it, and then get moving again to go south. That Scorpion's looking a mightily tempting target right now. And I think the Borsig sees him as well. And good job that we did move, because the G-Saw has moved up. And our T100 LT is moving to cover that. Okay, he now knows that we're looking in that direction. The moving arrows downwards shows that's where we're looking. Rounds out. Fairly good bet that he is behind that rock. The numbers have evened up a little. We're still only 4 behind, but that's still a lot. M41 can't get a shot just yet. Scorpion looks a much more tempting target. Yes, I suspect the enemy Arty is just around that corner, possibly where that little bush is to the left, just next to the table. Looked like the shell was coming from that general direction. Of course, he might be relocating as well. And this is interesting. The ELC M90, who's a one-shot, is nearby. Near where we were originally. And he's only 10 hit points remaining. He'll go down with 1 hit. Just need to land the shell near. There's the SU-130 PM. Go for it. 264 from Splash. So the enemy's got 3 tanks in that general area, and all of them are very low hit points. There goes the G-Saw. The ELC, well, he's hiding. There's the ELC. Well, go for the SU-130 PM. Oh, he's gone. Oh, we fired. And unfortunately, the M41D managed to get our T100. 2-minute warning. There's still the T30 between us and the enemy. And I don't think even the ELC Evan 90 desires to actually meet that T30 shell. So he's making a quick run. And yes, he just got fired on. Got a red line. Unfortunately, that rock is in the way. The ELC thinks they can quickly get around whilst we're still reloading, or whilst the T30 is still reloading for that matter. But I don't think he will survive the next hit. He is a very, very, very precarious position. Oh! Unfortunately, that missed them. Now we've been spotted. Now we need to ram him. And unfortunately, that's the second hit and the last one. Well, he's in reload, and enemy Arty is now firing.
Bail out. This vehicle has had it.
So, unfortunately, we do go down, but there's still 3 left on our team. And despite the fact that the ELC is in the cap area, he probably won't stay in there for very long. Only 22 seconds left on the clock. I think this is definitely going to be a draw. Yes, we've lost somebody else as well. We lost the TL7. 10 seconds. And I don't think the ELC wants to meet the T30 or anyone else for that matter. And even though they took a big chunk out of him, they can't win. And that one ends up being a draw. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a second-class tanker for Photobomber of FUN2 in the GWE100. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13. He got a gauze medal for doing more damage than 8 times his hit points, and he also got a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that one, 3,981, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see we definitely got the highest damage on our team, but not the highest damage in the game. The Object 705A on the enemy team managed to get a Spartan and high caliber for 5,170 hit points. And in second place, Photobomber got the gauze medal and the Confederate for 4,394. And in third place, that goes to the T-54 that was in the middle island. Yes, he got 3,777 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, the top scorer was the 705 again. He got 4 kills. 3 kills went to our T30 and 2 kills went to the TL7, the T100LT, the T54, the FV4005 and the M41D. And we only got the 1 kill for Photobomber. When it came to base XP, top scorer was in fact the T54 on the enemy team, 654, mostly down to the spotting I think he was doing. Yes, 1,596. And in second place, we can see it was 705A with 631, followed by the SU-130PM, who got 594. So they were all heavy on the hit points in that game, but they did get spotting as well. And top scorer on our team is Photobomber again with 479. And that actually brings him in 5th place on base XP. He fired 19 rounds, so he had much more opportunity to shoot in this game. 5 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 18 splashes. 4,394, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 4 of the, well, he received 4 hits rather from the enemy, 3 of which were penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and 220 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, and he got 1,112 hit points of stun assist of 17 stuns. So not as much stun assist, and that's possibly why he didn't get the ace tanker on this game. On a premium count, he actually made a loss of 19,370 credits from the game, and he got 5 bonds for being tier 10, and 1,721 experience points overall. But I think you can see that in one game, he was pumping out those shells and getting them all to the right targets. So he was getting loads of stun assist. But in the follow-up game, he was actually getting real damage on the enemy. But unfortunately, he didn't get enough stun assist. And, well, it ended up being a draw. So that didn't help everyone. And, well, I think it was unlucky that he was spotted by that ELC. But he did try to get the guy at the last moment, just as he was circling around to try and attack the T-30 from the rear. And it would have been great if he got it, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.